Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to yet another episode of Golf with your friends with the usual players. This time we're playing through the volcano map.
I can already tell I'm going to win this game. My golfing instincts are telling me victory will be mine today.
You haven't even hit the ball yet. How can your senses already be telling you something?
It just tells me that it will happen, and that's all I really need to know.
Guys, please, we need to actually play the game, and then we can start making predictions about who is winning and losing. Based on my shot here, I'm guessing I'll be going into the winning category.
And based on Donald's shot, he won't be getting a hole-in-one like he should have.
Okay, guys, I apologize. I didn't get a hole-in-one on the first shot. Clearly, that means I'm going to lose the entire game. My mistake.
That's all right. I missed two, so you and I can lose together. Or preferably, I don't lose, actually, now that I think about it more.
No, you had the right idea the first time.
All right, that's enough, everyone. I'll let you all know that I'll be victorious this time, and I'll allow you all to fight over second place. Does that sound good?
That definitely does not sound good. In fact, like the volcano this map is based on, I think your confidence is going to be blowing up spectacularly.
Historically, I have been able to keep my cool the most, and it's gotten me the most wins, I think. So if you manage to not let your very small lead get ahead of you, then you might be right after all.
Don't worry about him, Ben. I'll just bring in one of those Final Fantasy IV dancers, and he won't keep his cool at all.
We're not playing Final Fantasy IV right now, so I don't have to worry about that.
Hey guys, if we can actually pay attention here, what were we doing for this hole? Is this just a teleporter?
It looks like we just cut ahead since everyone basically had the same shot, so there wasn't anything special. It does lead to more interesting level designs. It's kind of like that Portal game released on Steam a while ago.
Oh yeah, I think I saw one of my grandkids play that there was something about a robot.
Yeah, that was a great game. I personally prefer the sequel, and I think that's a generally pretty common opinion. It was better in many ways, primarily the storytelling and level design.
I think I did hear some songs from that game, something like, this was a triumph. I'm making a note here, huge success, which describes my presidency very well, I think.
No, it was hard to overcome my satisfaction when you lost the election to me. That was a huge success.
Maybe if the election wasn't rigged, I still would be president.
Hey, when it comes to winning, we do what we must because we can. And although you did mess up your chances with the COVID response, there's no sense crying over every mistake.
It's fine. I'm not even angry. I'm being so sincere right now.
Yeah, okay guys, this doesn't need to turn into reciting Portal lyrics, otherwise most of our audience isn't going to have a clue what we're saying.
Don't worry. We don't understand Joe half the time anyway. It won't make much of a difference. It's not like much is happening in the game to be excited about.
Yeah, I think there was a hole in one spot, but we all missed it. So there's not much difference in where our shots are all going.
Okay, I suppose you're right, but that doesn't mean you can just start reciting Portal lyrics again.
All right, that's fine. I think everyone but Donald should be making it in on the next shot if I looked at this correctly.
Yeah, I think you might be right after all. Not that it will put me back by much at all. I'll only be a couple behind first place.
If you keep it up, you'll be behind a couple more on the next one. And a couple more on the next one. And a couple more on the next one.
Okay, I got the idea.
And a couple more on the next one.
It doesn't sound like Ben has the best confidence in you, Donald. Maybe you can prove him wrong by getting ahead.
There's no way he's going to know what to do here.
It looks like I've used this jetpack fairly well. I'm not sure if we've used this before. It must have been only once or so if we did have it at a different time.
Ooh, a jetpack. You know what that means. It's Bidening time.
Wow, I was expecting you to go so far out of bounds with that, but it didn't end in disaster. Good job, Joe.
Yeah, let's see if you can do the same this time.
Bet you won't.
That worked perfectly except for that part that didn't, which was all of it.
Yeah, you don't need to get your ball to the moon. We're not at the space station course yet.
It looks like you've got a better handle on this. I think making sure you don't go too slowly is the key, as you won't make it all the way across, and the volcanoes will shoot you too far into the air.
Glad to know I'm at least not falling behind this time.
Not yet, but don't count yourself out.
Hey, Ben, I think you missed.
Gee, thanks, Joe. You're a really great detective with your analysis. Perhaps after a few more years, you can work yourself up to the host of Blue's Clues next. Not even Steve or Joe, but the most recent guy in the reboot that isn't as well known.
Wait, why did you include my name there? I'm not on Blue's Clues.
There was already a character on there named Joe, but it obviously wasn't you.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Watch this, guys. I'm finally going to make it.
Oh, really? Since to me it looks like you've missed again.
Well, it's not like you're going to be doing much better.
Even though you are correct, he still is further along the course than you are, so you're still the one who needs to make the most improvement.
Okay, point taken. I'll do that soon.
Now, Donald's ball is above me, so now I have no angle. Thanks for messing my shot up.
Anytime, that's what I do best.
All right, this time for real. I'm not letting anything get in my way.
Really, I think the copious amounts of failure you were showing would get in the way since you can't stop missing.
There's no need to get on my case. Obviously, I'm not doing as well as I'd hope, but you don't have to pull out your thesaurus in order to roast me.
You're right. My superior intellect and eloquent vocabulary is wasted upon a simpleton such as yourself when the simple act of you under or overestimating your expected distance is enough to thoroughly accentuate your capabilities, or lack of capabilities in this case.
I don't often agree with Barack, but this time he's right. Joe's brain is clearly not capable of processing anything you just said.
And you're not capable of hitting your ball in when you're like a foot away. How are you missing so much?
I'm just trying to get it in, but this angle is pretty difficult since it's not as straightforward as it looks.
Yeah, even I'm struggling, and I'm the best golfer here.
Would you look at that? Barack struggled hard to get over, but he made it in without issue, so I don't know why you two are doing so much worse.
I think it is what the youth of today refer to as a skill issue.
Hey, don't act like you're much better. You took way longer to get over there. You're not the superior golfer at all.
Oh, I finally made it in, and Donald should be as well.
That's great. I was starting to think this entire video was going to be that one hole at this rate.
Although Ben has been a bit harsh on us, he's doing pretty well. I'm not sure if we can catch up if we don't improve our gameplay.
I probably can, but I won't speak for anyone else. I wonder if this black hole thing is going to mess us up at all.
Looks like it got me closer to the hole, so I'm not complaining.
Okay, it's time for me to make my redemption from the previous hole not going well.
It looks like you going quickly enough made it so you didn't have to worry about the black holes influencing your ball in an unpredictable manner. Very interesting.
Let's see if I can accomplish the same thing.
Uh-oh, it doesn't look like you were lucky enough that time.
At least the hole isn't that far away, so I think I can make it easily enough soon.
I think I can use the black hole pulling to make my ball go up enough to the point where I'll still be near the hole, thus using its gravitational influence to my benefit instead of hindrance.
I didn't understand most of that, but you didn't really do much better than myself and Barack, so I don't think it made much of a difference.
Even though functionally the shots were nearly identical, it shows that I have obtained a greater understanding of the game than anyone else, so you better take that as signs of a victory for me.
Sorry, Ben, I was too busy watching Donald's ball get flown around at random to pay attention to you.
This game clearly has it out for me if it's just letting my ball go wherever it wants to at this point.
No, I think you just need to improve your skills to the point where you're not falling behind.
Just give me a minute and I'll be over there soon enough.
Oh, look, he's actually making progress. It seems there's just at least one who needs to take way longer than it should to get into the hole, and it's Donald, yet again.
I'm not doing that badly, okay?
You do have a lot to make up for, though, since you're quite behind.
I don't think it'll be quite so difficult for myself and Joe to stay ahead as long as we don't do anything catastrophic to ourselves soon.
Catastrophic like that shot you just made? That didn't help at all, and you're practically handing the victory to Ben now.
Oh, then what's your approach?
Well, I figured this hoop thing would let me use the jetpack like before, and I noticed something in the background that looked like a portal, so this should help me a lot.
Well, finally a hole where you don't make it in over par. That must feel good.
Yeah, I'm finally not falling behind, so that can only prove a comeback is more likely.
Do I miss?
Joe, have you considered making it into the portal yet?
Yes, I actually did, but I wonder if you considered getting any progress done since your shot earlier was useless.
Enough arguing for you two if you want success. Just watch and learn from the best, since that's what I am.
I suppose with you making it in, I didn't really get any closer to catching up to you, but I'm not falling behind Joe and Barack at least.
Don't worry, Barack will be falling behind very quickly, especially if he keeps making shots like that. Let's see if the Democrats can pull themselves together to not get into last place.
I had a bad angle, but that's not relevant, since once I get a better angle, I'll be in very soon.
That's just wishful thinking at this point. You're not doing anything to actually prove you're capable of a comeback. Joe was further behind you earlier, but even he is doing better.
Oh yeah, I'm back. You better know it's Bidening time all day long.
Joe, it is most certainly not Bidening time at any point since you're behind by a lot compared to me.
I'm sure the scoreboard will show me as a close second place once Barack eventually decides to make it in.
There we go. I knew I could do it.
I suppose you were right about being in second place, even if it's not all that close. Funny how Barack had such a difficult time that hole and he's still ahead of Donald.
That's only because this game is rigged against me.
Guys, why is the gravity different? I'm not sure what to do here.
I don't think there's anything you need to do necessarily. Just make it down without falling into the lava out of bounds should be enough. Though I'm not sure what to do after that.
Based on my shot, it looks like you could use the gravity to your advantage, though. I don't know if it helped me all that much.
Maybe not, but it certainly didn't help Ben considering how he just got out of bounds like he warned us not to do.
I was just doing some experimenting. Since I'm so far ahead, I figured I can spare a few shots to do so.
No, that's just an excuse. You definitely didn't plan that at all.
Did anyone even acknowledge my great shot to where I'm ahead now?
Yeah, sure, anyway. Joe, how did you know to go to that portal? I didn't see that at all.
I just kind of noticed it when my turn started and figured I would try going in there since I didn't know if I could get ahead of you and Donald very easily.
Wow, this could get interesting. Barack had a good shot, and Joe's going somewhere that could lead to him getting ahead of us if he aims himself well enough.
If you aim well enough, you can also make it to where I'm at and not fall behind that much.
I'm just going to hit it forward and hope it leads me somewhere good.
Wait, what?
Wow, that did not go as I planned at all, and now we both fell down here?
Well, I was planning on seeing where my new path would go, but Ben had to do an accidental sabotage, and I guess we'll just have to go the normal path. At least Barack let us know what happens when we hit the wall. It makes us go up higher.
Glad I could be of help even if I didn't mean to.
I don't really have a good angle, so I just have to take what I can get here at this point.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had no idea it would knock both of us away, or that it would let me to the portal to begin with.
Don't worry about it. My life motto is to forgive and forget.
Emphasis on forget.
What am I forgetting?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Somehow I have an even worse angle than Joe did. I think I'll still be ahead, but I don't think I'm gaining any lead this time.
Well, what do you know? Ben finally isn't bragging about his accomplishments in this game. For once, I didn't know that would happen.
Oh no, I'm still winning this for sure. It's just this is a rare instance where I'm not making it ahead of everyone else.
Ah, man, I made it over, yet the game still finds a way to keep me out of the hole.
Don't worry, we all knew you would find your own unique way of staying in last, like you have been for most of the game so far.
Do we need to remind you of the last hole where you kept missing and nearly fell to last place?
Do we need to remind you of the last few holes before that where you kept missing and did fall to last place?
Guys, there's no need to argue. Everyone has their opportunity to get into last place as long as you're patient. You'll get there.
Joe, the goal of the game is to not be in last place. How do you not know that by now?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I think you might be right.
I swear, Joe, you always find new ways of amusing me that I never could expect. This is the 8th golf video we've done, and you still don't remember how to win the game.
For someone who doesn't remember how to win, I sure seem to do it more than you do.
For once, I have to agree with Joe here. He has won more than any of us overall. Not by a significant amount, but he is still correct.
My golfing instincts rarely steer me the wrong direction, and they're telling me it's my time to shine again.
Yeah, okay, I don't think that's happening. Let's skip ahead and see if your instincts are correct.
What do you mean by skip ahead, like to where we're all up here now?
Yeah, we all made it over, so might as well make it easier for everyone to just see what happens now.
What happens is you'll fail spectacularly.
Actually, I'll be making it in fairly close to the hole. Not quite in like I would prefer, but definitely could have been much worse. Speaking of which, I think Joe is up next.
What do you mean worse? I'm only one behind you on the scoreboard, and I'm making it in for sure.
Okay, let's see it. Oh, you actually are making it in. I spoke a little too soon there.
Don't worry, we've all been speaking about how we're making it in with varying results, so it's not just you now.
If you just stay calm and collected like I do on most of these courses, then the victory is much more likely for you, unlike Ben, who boasts without showing proof of his alleged success.
Hey, I'm ahead right now and have won nearly the same amount of maps as you have. That is proven success.
Well, one of those was pure luck in the Twilight map, so that isn't really the same thing. You're not having that same lucky streak this time.
Okay, Joe, calm down. This is you not being as calm like you just said. You're going to let Ben get to you, and you'll lose focus.
Speaking of losing focus, I think you could have aimed that better if you weren't talking with Joe. So I think all of us need to think about our shots more carefully. Otherwise, we're going to fall apart.
I think that applies more to you three, since I'm better than you all, but otherwise you're right.
Wow, Ben, sometimes I think your ego is bigger than my bank account.
In all fairness, it is fueled by my successes in life, in which there are a lot of them, so it does make sense.
What might those accomplishments be?
The standard destroying the left wing at college campuses selling Daily Wire, plus for $6 billion. And most recently, we'll be winning this volcano match of golf.
Somehow, those do not seem equally important as each other.
Hey guys, I don't mean to interrupt, but since you mentioned a volcano that reminds me of a story from my past, can I tell it now?
At this point, I'd rather jump into an actual volcano than listen to one of your stories.
That's great, here it goes. So there I was working as a firefighter, but at this point in American history, firefighters burned books instead of putting out fires, which doesn't really make them fighting fires exactly, but anyway. I was doing my usual burning books when I was curious on what was actually contained in them. So I borrowed a few while meeting Uglier Joe, who was my neighbor, but this was the first time I'd seen him. I got discovered by other firefighters who went to my home and burned down my large television screens that were on my walls, and they chased me with a hound. I got away and met other people who were reading books, but then memorizing them to keep the stories intact. Then I ran away with them, or they might have attacked me with a flamethrower. I'm not really sure at that point.
Joe, that was just Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. That could not have happened to you. Besides, how do you possibly get attacked by a flamethrower and not know it?
Well, it was dark inside the building, so I couldn't really see it.
Wouldn't a flamethrower that is being used at that moment be the most visible thing in the room? That seems like it's pretty hard to forget.
You have to remember, this is Joe we're talking about. You can never underestimate his ability to completely misremember entire books as things that have happened to him.
I'm sure one day I'll convince you all that these things really happened to me.
You're more likely to win the presidency than you are convincing us that your stories are real.
Depending on what happens in November of the year this was uploaded, that joke may have aged very well or very badly.
Looks like not much happened in the scores for that hole aside from me falling behind just slightly.
Oh, great, more portals. That's exactly what we needed. Now, this whole video is just going to be this map, I bet.
Not if we get lucky and make it in really quickly.
That is absolutely not happening, especially when none of us have ever been that lucky, except for Ben, that one time.
Off topic from that clear jab against my skill, I think it'll be hard to tell which one of us is really ahead, since these portals can bring us to so many different places.
With shots like that, it'll be easy to tell Barack is going to be behind.
Not like you're any further ahead. You have no idea how to get to the hole either unless you really do get very lucky.
Oh wow, it looks like Lucky Ben is back to his normal ways after all.
No, it's more like skillful Ben being back, so you three all have fun figuring out how to make it anywhere near the hole.
This is definitely luck. It's just not as prominent as the Twilight map.
Hey, I think I figured out how to know who is ahead. The portals that bring us up higher are much closer to the hole, and we won't have to get lucky like Ben did. So I think the higher up, the better, if I understand correctly.
Wow, you think being closer to the hole means you're making more progress? Who would have thought?
I think I understood what he meant, though. Not everyone can get as lucky as you have been.
As always, it is my skill, not luck. I'm not sure how much I have to convey this to have you understand it.
Perhaps if you wrote it on the drive-thru at McDonald's, then he would understand.
And if he wrote it in crayon, maybe you would understand it.
Can we just take a moment away from the arguing to see Donald somehow miss the platform, hit another portal, then my ball, then made it near the hole, and I thought Ben was the lucky one here.
That was expertly predicted by the golfing instincts, which you all doubt for some reason.
No, I think that was all luck, no skill.
Okay, hold up. How am I even stopping here? This is clearly a slope, but the game is acting like I shouldn't be going down for some reason.
I think the game just knows you'll be in last place, so it's making that conclusion obvious to everyone.
As usual, Barack is back with the excuses instead of just accepting when he's lost already.
It's not over yet, Ben. There's still a few more holes, then we'll see who really is going to win, and it won't be you.
Based on the scoreboard, it looks like it will be me. I think Joe will probably be second place, but none of you are even close to me.
Barack, how do you plan on getting through this hole?
Honestly, I have no idea. There are so many things to consider, and I think this is going to take a bit of time to strategize.
Yeah, even I don't know, and you'd think I would know since I'm superior, but this is going to take some deep, critical thinking.
I'm just going to hit it lightly to make slow but steady progress.
I think Joe actually has the right idea, but since I'm behind anyway, I'm going to take some riskier shots.
When you say riskier shots, I assume you mean dumb ideas that you may as well try so you can get even further in last place, right?
That is not what I meant at all, obviously. And I'm guessing Barack is going to do the same thing.
And it did not work at all.
I'm actually going to do something very unusual and take Joe's advice since I have no reason to do any insane shots while I'm already in first place.
It looks like that slope made you stop just like when it happened to me. Seems like a weird design.
Ben is in the way, but I think I can make it if I go hard enough this time.
Joe, if you have any plans of winning, you have to be careful. Ben is already ahead of you, and messing up like that is not going to help you.
Wait, why are you being the voice of motivation for him? I thought you would be aiming for his downfall.
Nobody cares about that. I just made it way further ahead. It's time for my comeback. I've been aiming for this entire time.
To answer your question, before Barack interrupted my golfing instinct, told me that if I gave Joe encouragement, it would help me win. Not sure how, but I'm not questioning it right now.
Donald, you are in last place. I don't think you're going to be winning regardless of what your instinct tells you, but thank you for the good words.
Something tells me that Donald is making it. If you keep messing up, you did the same thing twice, and you didn't do that slow but steady strategy for long.
Yeah, I changed my mind for a minute there, but I don't want to hear criticism when you're not making any new progress. At this rate, Barack is more likely to win as much as I don't wish to admit it.
No, Barack sucks. He is not having any better chance at winning. It is me, Ben Shapiro, who will reign victorious amongst all of you.
Last time I checked, it's me who is one shot from the hole. Meanwhile, you're stuck in the gutter there.
And last time I checked, it's me who is first place, which will remain the same on the leaderboard.
If Joe and Barack keep messing up, then you will. But I think Joe is actually taking it slower like he said he would and won't fall behind by that much.
Yeah, I'm not messing around anymore. I am in ultra focus mode. Nobody's breaking my concentration. I'm even more concentrated than that time I was trying to eat a popsicle before it melted in my hands. It didn't work, but I was focused.
Okay, we didn't really need to hear that, but the idea is that Joe isn't backing down on this.
What do you know? I actually made it in first. I'm not sure if that's happened this whole game. I didn't notice if it did much earlier.
Hey, Ben, have you considered making
Shut up,
it
shut
closer
up right
to the
now.
hole since that shot didn't help you at all?
Yeah, okay, I made one mistake. Meanwhile, you and Donald have been getting so many bad shots. It's like someone paid you in Big Macs and ice cream to fail on purpose. Meanwhile, I have 1 or 2 bad shots. I'm not the one fighting for last place. Like, you all have been this whole time. I am the better player out of everyone, and nobody is going to prove me wrong.
Okay, we get it. We didn't need an entire speech prepared. You've already said you're going to win, and next hole is your chance to prove it.
What do you mean, next hole? I have been proving myself the entire time I've been in first place for nearly the whole time with no real competition, and this last hole is going to be the cherry on top of the success sundae I'm going to have.
Ooh, a Sunday. I haven't had one of those in a week or so. I think I'm going to get one after this game is over.
That is clearly not what he meant, but Ben, don't you think you're taking this a little too seriously? It's just a game.
Nah, I'm just proving my skill to all the doubters. In fact, Joe, I'm willing to return the entire $6 billion I made from that deal for selling you Daily Wire. Plus, if I win, you better believe I am serious when I say that. But if I win, like I plan on, then you have to give back Daily Wire Plus to me.
Okay, that sounds like a pretty even deal. I accept.
So what's your strategy, Joe?
This building gravity should send me up like that other map, so I'll have a decent angle to get to the hole in the distance there.
And Ben, what about you?
I'm going to take the winning strategy and go in a completely different direction. If I can use my jetpack from here, I'll have enough distance to make it in the hole easily with a lot of time to spare.
Very interesting, I will say. Both of these strategies have merit, though. I have no idea what will be the better choice, especially with that black hole in the way. For Joe,
What will you do then since you and Joe are tied?
this other building also has a good path to the hole, but without the black hole in the way, so I think I'll do that.
Honestly, despite my instincts, I think I'm out of it, but I'll try Joe's way since it probably won't make a huge difference.
Glad to hear one of you is finally acknowledging that you won't be winning. If the other two could do the same, that would save time for everyone.
No, I'm not giving up. I just waited for the black hole to move away so it would have the least influence on my shot, and now I'm pretty close to the end.
Wow, you actually thought that through. I wasn't expecting that.
Nobody would expect that from Joe, but watch this for real skill.
Ben, what are you doing?
I'm not doing anything. I think I hit an invisible ceiling, which made me go down, and this pipe would normally bring the ball up, but since I'm outside of it, it's kind of glitchy to where it's not doing the intended effect.
Well, I got my intended effect when I made it across. The more you use your jetpack, the less fuel you'll have to make it over. Better get a good shot soon.
I could figure that out for myself, but thanks anyway.
Whoa, I don't know how the black hole didn't get me there, but I suppose I won't complain.
Barack made a good point if you run out of fuel. I don't know if there's a good path for you to get to the end, or at least I hadn't seen one, and I'm betting neither have you.
Don't try to put doubt in my head. I'll be fine, unlike you, who overshot and made no progress like usual.
Just because I overshot doesn't mean you will be successful. We're about to watch another miss right now.
Oh yeah, then watch this.
That worked perfectly except for that part that didn't, which was all of it.
Yeah, I had one missed shot. I'll still be fine. You'll all see next time.
I'll admit I could have done better, but at least I'm not a mile away like Ben is and can see the goal so clearly.
I don't have a good angle here, so I'll just have to make it in later, but that's all right.
I'm glad you've at least acknowledged your defeat, unlike some people who just don't know when to stay down.
I never give up since I know at all times somewhere in the world it's Bidening time.
You finally made it in, Joe. It took longer than preferred, but it looks like you're getting second place at worst.
I need to make it back to find a different path over.
That worked perfectly except...
Shut up right now. I mean,
What's the matter with you now?
I have been so far ahead this whole time. I can't let the last hole be the place where we falter. This is merely a small roadblock and the success I deserve.
Okay, so Ben is clearly erratic now, and if he doesn't make it over, he might actually lose after all his gloating and confidence.
I just need to get it in now so I don't somehow get involved in whatever this is.
Okay. I just have to focus. I can do this right now. No issues.
That worked.
Nobody asked you. Barack, I know that I missed. I don't need you to tell me that it didn't work.
Wow, Ben, at this rate, I think the country's defense budget will be back to normal when you get that money back from the deal you made a few minutes ago.
Oh, no. Don't say that. Joe, I need this victory to prove myself as a winner.
I have never been more happy to be done with a game.
I need to do this. I can still win.
Bet you won't.
I know what you're gonna say. You don't need to say it. That went perfectly well, except for the part that didn't, which was all of it. Okay, I can make it so.
Ben, even though I'm struggling, you have absolutely lost it, and I don't think you're going to win.
Did Ben turn into a dog or something? I don't even think he's speaking a language at this point.
Yeah, even your stories are more comprehensible at this point.
Oh,
All right, Ben, I'm nearly in the hole. It's all on you now to make it over with what little time you have left.
I can't make it over. I just need to find the writing.
He's making it back to using actual words now, so that must be progress.
If Ben runs out of time, I think I might actually win this.
No. I refuse to even have that as a possibility. I am the real winner, and I will prove to you all. Now.
Yeah, he is definitely not making it in. Now, congratulations, Joe, for your victory over Ben. It was not what I expected at all, but it looks like you pulled through yet again.
Even my instincts could not have predicted what happened. That was a great game.
No, I still have a chance to do this.
Nah, it's Bidening time.
Great job, Joe. I admit defeat. That was a good time.
Good job, everyone.
Make sure to comment and subscribe.
And peace out, people.